probably can't do a Steam message today because it is being stupid and not working. I can't actually use Steam. It's delayed on everything. I've just kind of given up on it. I get to this screen, that's it. So there will be no message on Steam group, sadly. I tried restarting, I tried internet, it must be just a Steam thing. Or a Steam update, I don't know. Thankfully, it's a little bit software, so that's all I care about. Down there. Just want to get everything balanced. Kind of had it ready. Hello. So, I didn't get as much work done this weekend as I wanted, but I did get the stuff done that I wanted to get done, which was planning. Planning is boring. Doing it on here would be stupid because I spent literally 2 hours on Saturday sitting here, eyes closed, just trying to think things out, which is immensely boring. So I don't want to do stuff like that on a stream. So I at least got stuff kind of figured out for how to do these two. And really all I have left to do is just some editing here. I already retimed it because I had, before this was timed on the beat, and I did it on the off beat. So, and I slowed it down a little bit right this part. So, and it looks works much better. So, so I just have to do some like touch up on here, and then doing the particle effects. I don't think I touched this one at all this weekend. No, I didn't. That was the same. All I really did was touch this one. Which, so it's the exact same as it's seen for the most part, except for I've added a few things. So it was a lot of planning. So I have creatures, and then I'm hoping this actually shows right without a render. So I have Rainbow Dash doing a fighting thing. So, but the keyframing on that took forever. So. Yeah, so that's what I'm actually doing right now. So this took me 5 hours of keyframing and then clean up. So I have, that's my plan right now, is to do this. So, Rainbow Dash is not finalized, and I haven't to render it to see whether or not that's going too fast or not. So, we'll see. But I needed, because in the original... in the original, that's the shot at the end, but it was the and that's why I originally had a different plan for this, and I went through a couple different ideas, and I ended up going with this one. The original had it coming out from the side, doing a couple things, but then going into a spit and doing a 180. I wasn't able to do the 180. Instead, I just went and followed up behind her, which is right here. Just for, I think it's like 4 frames, which is what I think I determined the other one to be. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then it starts moving. But I might quick the camera here, because I think like this one technically only goes within like 2 frames to turn, and I'm gonna probably speed that up to do the same here too. It's no, I'm not remaking. Based on the anime, I'm using the anime's intro as a basis to make one for a fanfic. So, it's used as a base. So, like, I'm mostly done. I only got like this parts to do. All the rest are mostly done. So, no, I love that series though, and I love that song. And I really wish I could use the Japanese version, but I can't because it would be pulled for copyright. but I'm using it as a base. So, because when I made chemistry a while back, it was so that I could figure out kind of how the editing in the background works for it. So now I'm actually trying to take it instead and make it and using it as a base to make something else. As for BronyCon, so like. I'm not doing another anime intro for a while. These are very intense. I'm trying to build whole different scenes. Oh, I gotta redo that scene too. But I'm gonna put a whole thing here. So, oh yeah, the hair turned out really good for this part. Except for it does glitch a little bit right here, right at the end, and the hair kind of goes wonky, but I fixed that. So, I don't think I did any other fixes for the renders, but no, I haven't heard anything about the new Fate. Well, I hope there's another one because they left the last one on a kind of a cliffhanger. Though I liked Fate, Fate Zero more than Fate Stay Night so far. Because the original one, I think, felt more realistic. This one is just suddenly like, all anime characters from high school. So, yeah, that shot, yeah, I want to, well, there's no, the element itself has been buffed up. It doesn't look the same anymore. And I can always adjust brightness and everything for a shot. I'm not worried about doing that either. But technically, this is the same brightness as the next parts of the shot. If anything, I think that there's more light in this one than there actually is. But the main thing is, I think, is just lighting up probably her necklace a little bit because it does seem a little dark. If I light that up, it should help a lot. But I think also putting in the extra volumetric light behind her here to help just brighten things up in general. I just didn't like the... Yeah, okay, so for Fate Zero, yeah, Fate Zero was better. It was... because it just felt weird that they just are like, hey, it's all... Instead of having a worldwide phenomenon, it was all within, like, a high school, which just seemed overly anime. Oh, you got a Brody Cat? Sweet. It's a fun one. Alright, so what I needed to do here was, the idea I was going with was, there's a part in the book where, Gold Petals had helped somebody that was almost pulled off the roof by one of these things. Or not a roof, the cliff. And so I was going to be that this was the cliff side, so I can go back to making a not so intensive city, and having a more expansive bit, and then having the next shot afterwards be from like down here, kind of, within the alleyway. And I'm gonna have it go. I was thinking about having it so that she's in the shot, but Rainbow comes down and beats something, and then I was gonna do like a 270-degree bit where one of them gets thrown into the wall there. But I haven't 100% done that. I just knew the general direction I wanted to go in, but I haven't figured out the minor details of it yet. But the reason I like that idea is because anytime I have somebody touching the ground, it's a lot more work trying to make sure that every foot touches correctly. Like this in the air, the actual keyframing. Was like this. Oh, yeah, I guess the camera a little bit. So it's was a lot simpler compared to most, but then I've retimed them, so stuff. So, but if I have to interact with the ground, it's so much extra work, and I don't have the time for extra work. So I decided that if I have her go down low like this, I can keep it at their mid-level and higher. If they're not interacting with the ground directly, I can have them slide at various points, and if the camera's moving fast enough, you're never going to notice that he's sliding anyway. What are those things? They're originally supposed to be chaos creatures. I looked at the description. They don't match exactly. There's a lot of elements of it that don't match, but I really didn't have a choice because there's nothing that's even close to what they actually are supposed to look like, which is more like stingrays with giant tentacle arm things. And I tried, like I even have, I'm going to probably use it for the next shot, but I have one of these guys. This is the base one I was using, but I even have kind of like tentacle-like things. I just use spider legs, but I'm going to position them differently. I just was attaching it and seeing if it would work. But, so I was playing around with it to see if I could get something to work. That was also like an hour of time trying to figure out how to do these. But these are the best I could come up with in the meantimes, and they're fairly expressive, and the wings look demonic or like creepy, I guess. So that's what I wanted to kind of go for. So, but what I wanted to do here was I wanted to start building up this shot. So I went and replaced the background with a sky dome or a sky card, and there's a little part of the roof that's visible in this shot right here, so I just put another one over there. Oh, and that one too. But so yeah, so I have to build that out, and I don't think I have any other ground visible, right? My only concern is I might have to extend this beginning part because I have a feeling that I haven't done the lighting yet, but I have a feeling that with the lights on and stuff, considering that they're only going to be visible for what would be a clear amount of time, about 8 frames or a third of a second, it might be hard to see. I mean, this one's only for a sixth of a second, but that's technically what the original was. It's not about getting the detail from it. It's about giving the idea of the changing of direction. So I'm not worried about that. So a lot of the stuff I use is modifications within the engine itself. There's not really a download for it. So like here, Rainbow's eyes being like that is a material override. The model doesn't have it attached. I'd have to have it as a separate download, but then it's just you'd have to go and put it on a model yourself and manipulate it yourself, which is a lot of work. And if something's not fairly simple to utilize, it invites an immense amount of questions from people, and if I don't answer them, it really is worthless and to even do it to begin with. And I did it once, I can't remember what it was with, and there were so many questions that came from it that I couldn't keep up with them in general, or they were just too confusing to be able to figure out. So I just, usually if I can't keep it simple for people, I don't bother. So if it's not a simple download, I won't. But like here, there's nothing modified. This is, I mean, the ground here is just a texture, but making that public doesn't mean anything because it's built specifically for the scene. So there's certain things that it potentially could, but almost everything I do is a hybrid of just all these other things just merged into it to make it work within the software. Yeah, you're not the only one that doesn't know who or what's going on there because they haven't released the schedule yet. So yeah, I don't even know when things are going on. My main worry is that last year the SFM panel and the anthology panel were on top of each other, and partially like a half-hour overlap, but that means that I had to leave anthology early to go to the SFM panel. And this year I'm on 4 panels, and so I'm kind of worried that there might be overlap again if they didn't care or they didn't have it worked out before, and now it's gotten down to the wire. So I'm really antsy to know when that's coming out so I can get stuff planned out and get announcements out, but alas. Okay, so I need mountains because there's a thing with mountains in this book. That's okay because I like mountains. But yeah, I'll definitely be there. I'm on. Oh, it's gonna be your birthday there. Sweet. Well, happy birthday if I don't have to say it when you're there. No, I'm gonna be there's. I know I'm on the Anthology panel, SFM panel, PABS panel, and 2D versus 3D. But again, I don't know when any of those are. Be sure to go to the Anthology panel, premiering Anthology 6. Oh, I think it's just a mountain. Come on. Snow Mountain. Here we go. I love my mountains. Greatest way to show distance without or with little work. The nice thing is, these I have up until that far away, and essentially I have an open area underneath, so I can literally have these mountains layered really nicely, which is gonna be cool. Yeah, usually the voice actor panels, there's most conventions do it where there is one a day, so it's not like if you miss the one Friday, don't worry about it because they'll have almost the exact same thing on Saturday and Sunday. So don't worry, you'll be able to figure your way into that. I don't know if BronyCon does it that way or not. I went to like one of those, but I've been to like 4 or 15 conventions or something now, so to me it's just another the same thing. But it is really interesting, especially if they have some goofy gimmicks like comic readings and stuff. It can be really fun, so I do recommend going to it if you can definitely do it at least once. Mountain Gid. I think it's funny the Mountain God thing came up after or before all my love for actual mountains. Okay, hide some things so I can figure out where my mountains are. Okay, so this camera, so just gotta keep it in that box. So this box is the technical viewing area, so I just want to keep it in there. Can I churn this? Move it back further. Yes, again. There's a little gap there, but I can put another mountain in front of that. That's not a problem. Well, I mean, if there's something specific that I have that is an easy thing, like a material or whatever you're looking for, I have no problem sharing it. I don't care. The only time I don't share it is I don't share save files, not because I don't want people stealing, but because that's a lot of questions that are going to come up about stuff, about where do you use this model, where is this one, what overrides are you using where. That wouldn't work very well. And I don't tend to share something for a video that isn't finished yet. So like this one, I wouldn't share anything with it until it's done. After it's done, I consider my portion of it to be complete, and so I don't care about sharing it anymore because I got my use out of it. That's why I put a lot of the animation files out public. Yeah, well, good luck with that. Yeah, I love SFM. I think it's a wonderful piece of software, but it does take a little bit to, I think, get the most out of it, to learn how to maximize its use. But definitely a great learning tool, especially if I found that if you're looking to get into animation, I actually think it's probably the most useful thing right now, because it is a software that lets you see if it is even something you want to do. It's like, because there could be the bit of like when kids are younger and they say they want to be an astronaut or something, you know. It's like actually going out there and playing with the thing is where I think you learn whether or not you'd actually want to do it as a career. I found that I probably wouldn't want to myself. Let's see that working like this. So this is the mountain I want there, but I wonder if I can just turn it weird. No, this don't look like that. No, but like, especially if you try to get a job in animation, like it's a lot of work. It's not like one of the things that I think I love the most about the stuff that I do is the fact that I have the ability to create. Well, that's why it's an actual mountain. Its ability to express myself and to create. I think that's the part that I love about it the most. And if you go and work for a company doing that, you're going to lose a lot of your creative control, and that bugs me. So, because it's somebody else telling you what to do, and that's why originally I have a degree in web development, and I didn't like it. Just from going to school for it, I learned that it wasn't a career path that I actually wanted to utilize, because all the fun parts that I got to do when I was doing it on my own were completely gone when I went to professional stuff setting. And I was like, I don't like this anymore. So I got the degree and said nope. Okay, I think the building is on the way there. Nope, it's not. That's fine. I can take a look. So I think that's what the great thing with SFM is just you get to play with the software. You get to see whether or not is this something that I would want to do with my life, which I think is cool, without having to pay a crapload amount of money, or to be jumping into software that you potentially don't understand in any way because it's overly complicated for your skill level. SFM, I think, is actually pretty simple to jump into compared to most. That, I think that's behind the building, so I'm not going to bother with that. So first, so I was trying to fill in some of these gaps because I got the back side of the mountains here. Right here. So we'll do that. I just need to hide this part of the mountain. That'll work. And I might add some extra peak in there or something, because none of them right now are really that high. Well, I highly recommend, though, that in terms of the materials question and sharing stuff question, I recommend that you still try to figure out, to play around with it yourself, to try to figure out how to really make the most out of some of the resources that are available by modifying yourself a bit, just because even if you build up a large library of resources, you're still going to have situations where nothing that's out there is going to fit your need. Nothing. And you're going to have to utilize a little bit of creativity to make something work. And having that experience helps a lot. Like knowing some of the tools on Photoshop and how they work and how bump maps work and all that stuff, that is really useful to know. Okay, I think that should work for mountains. Oh. This way. See how close I was to what I need. A little too much. There we go. That's better. I overrode this. I did. Oh, I don't think I hit this one. Oh, I did. It's next to this one. There we go. Might put this even higher though. Well, if there's any materials, at least with past stuff that I've done that you're looking for, as long as it's not like a laundry list of stuff, I don't mind like providing the materials for stuff I've done before, like I said. So feel free to let me know and I can see what I can do. Like I said, some of them are going to be stuff that I might not be able to share because of potentially the difficulty in getting them sorted out. It's actually part of the aspect with materials and stuff that the map from Remembrance was never released because we tried doing that, and there's a lot of stuff I'd have to try to sort out and get compiled into a folder to be shared before I could do that. And that is a lot of work that I just, as of right now, do not have the time to do. Okay, that did not. Well, you know what? I never actually figured out what I wanted to do for a night sky here. I could probably just take this. Don't anymore. Just turn this one down. Typically, I don't need to have it visible for any point past this. It's just furthest to the right I go, so. Still don't like the... there we go. I guess I can just drop it. There we go. Look good. There might be lag, but I can't really control that too much. Yeah, it shows I'm running fine. Well, let me start talking here. I just got it. I cried 3 times watching. Oh, and actually, at Night Warrior, if you're wondering with that video, there's a YouTube channel linked at the bottom of the stream that has all my past recordings. I just realized it's really high. And the you can, most of Remembrance was done on stream, so you can actually go back and watch some of the ones that you've been working on it if you want to try. It's a learning thing. Wait, what did you move the light in? Oh, I mean, if you throw a light onto the camera, you can actually like fly as the light, if that's what you mean. I am working on video stuff still, getting ready for BronyCon. Actually, I'm really liking this knot with the blue. I'm actually kind of digging that background color. I might try to stick with it. Actually, that's kind of a purplish, so I wonder if I drop the green increase to... Oof, no. It's more of just a white like this now. She works in 3 days. I keep thinking it's 3 weeks. Fuck. There's so much to do. I have 2 weekends though. That's where I really want to get stuff done. Just I really did not get near as much done this weekend as I really wanted to. Did this process? Okay, so that mountain down there has broken into it. Easy to fix though. Sure what you mean by moving the light then. I was readjusting it in the bar here by changing its min and max so I could, because volumetrics are the strongest when they're compressed as small as possible, so having it extended over a huge range when I don't need it to be is just going to make it low quality. It'll make it kind of actually start to flicker. But so I increased the minimum to the very edge and the maximum to the very edge, so I'm just filling the area as much as I need, but no more. But no, as for Remembrance, the story behind it, the actual story is basic. I know the main thing was, the original idea was that Twilight just wanted to get her friends back and did magic, and that's about it. I originally had a deeper story planned for it, but time restraints kind of hit, and it didn't quite work out for me actually getting that full story in. So I just went with this instead. But I'm not complaining because I actually still think it turned out really good. I like this, but I think the sky needs to be brighter. for one, I need to move this because the sky is not matching. Is it not matching? Yeah, it's matching enough. Oh wow, I actually can see the mountains over there. Yeah, that'll be easy to fix. I want to do this part first though. But actually, if you go to the Remembrance video and there's a link in the description below it. I think it's one of the first ones there that has a link to a video that Applegeek did. Applegeek's fairly local to me here. I actually sat down with them and he asked me quite a lot of questions about it. And so a lot of the stuff regarding the backgrounds of the video and other stuff, behind the scenes stuff, he actually talked about a lot of that, or we talked about it. So if you're curious on some of the extra background stuff to it, that's actually a good place to go. Okay, so I want to lighten up the sky here, but if I try to use an actual light to do it, I have to make it what skin is that? I guess 11. So yeah, watch that. It's probably going to give you the most info on it. I think it's like an hour long. I can't remember. Which one is you? What's this one? I think this can't be this far in. Nope. Okay, which one are you? No. But that one actually could work too if I took out the purple. Can't be Sky 1. That meter was all the way across. Is it Sky 1? No. Because it's got a partial city underneath it. Actually, no, because that would have been black and white. But I don't know if I've overridden that one for any reason. Which one of these did I not click? It's like that would kind of work, but I wanted a stormy sky. So let's go with super low texture. There we go, so it's Sky 9. I thought I tried you. Why did that not? Oh. Never mind. Those are set to unlit, aren't they? No, they're self-illuminate. Never mind. Alright, that makes that a lot easier. so this would be the normal brightness. So I want to up it, let's say 50%. Might need to fix this double gap here. Seems weird. That's easy though. Even then, this seems really layered. I'll worry about that later. I'm gonna go a little bit more. It's supposed to be super foggy, so the fact you can even see that far really makes no sense. But oh well. Okay, the sky is kind of low poly, but I don't know if I'm gonna care enough. I want to figure out the lighting a little bit with these creatures. So I want to make a new light for them. So this is going to be mountain volumetric one. It's going to be creature. Which way am I assuming the light's coming from? Oh, this bad lighting. I thought it was going to be fairly general, so I can pretty much do it however I want. Some do go slightly blue. I can't remember if I covered color or not in a tutorial. I think I did, but I have a couple tutorials I've recorded but never put out, so I don't know if it's one of those. Did I put out this one? I swear I did. Yeah, I did. There's alpha color. Yeah, so I do cover color. But I don't know if I cover it in the tutorial, so I'm not gonna like go and listen to it. But I was showing I can change the color of things, or at least the tint of it using it. But probably the biggest use I have for it is either increasing or decreasing the brightness of stuff. Because even though when you add color to something or self-illuminate, 111 is the default, like what it would normally look like without anything else interacting with it. And so if you up that value, you're technically increasing the brightness. So if you change 111 to 222, you're doubling the brightness of everything, which is a pretty useful little thing to do. Here, because this had self-illumination, that means that it can accept light from things, but in general, the most of the lighting it's going to do is from just illuminating itself and just having a general brightness increase. Well, color is not going to really work. Color will drop it down, but it'll only affect the lighting that's hitting it from outside sources. Self-illuminate's still causing that glowing side. That's why I couldn't tell the difference. There's no lights hitting it, so when I gave the color 0, it still kept it visible just the same. So instead, you can do a self-illuminate tint, which is kind of like color, the same thing, 3 values, red, green, blue, and you could just, then you're changing the tint of the glow, which is about the same thing as color. It's just less, it doesn't have any influence from the light that's hitting. But you can still use color to, like if it wouldn't really have an effect, but if I shined a light at it, I could use self-illuminate and color 0 to make it so that I could self-illuminate but have 0 influence from lights hitting it or something like that. Or, well, I think it might still interact with it to a degree, but a lot less. And I'm rambling. creature's right here. I'm gonna make this much brighter because I'm not seeing anything. Ow. That would help. Okay, so I've got 3 of them in this shot. Okay, that looks really fake. That's I think this needs more color to it. I think this just need to be very less stronger of a rim light and not less details on the front. I will put a light on their front side, but I want to make sure that this is just silhouetting mainly their edges. And the other thing that I don't like is that I had to severely drop down the aperture because of how close the camera is to Rainbow Dash here. So I had to drop it down so that she's partially visible, because I really wish that I could have the aperture at like say like this, because then it brings out the focus on them. But then you get Rainbow Dash looking like this. That doesn't work. So I had to drop it so that it was a lower value. But therefore, it made everything visible, essentially all the way through. I do want to add more of the creatures though, because I think as of right now there's just 4. I wanted to kind of make it feel like there's a swarm. So like take this one, and I'd slow down the animation of these things a lot so that I can effectively change them to any position I so wish. So I'm going to put this one way back here. I'm going to change it a little bit so that it's not the same. Those two look too much the same, so I'm going to put this one over here instead. This one's going to be a little bit closer. Not that close. I want to have kind of those 4 be the main ones, and have the rest of them just kind of be secondary. There's no light on Dash right now. All that's just the original map lighting. I'm not worried about her lighting right now because that's a lot of complex motion. So I want to try to get everything else situated first before I start trying to play with the lights that are on her. So, so yeah, her light is nowhere considered final. I just want to make sure that I'm filling in this gap. I kind of want to have this area with monsters. But my only concern is that technically you have buildings here. Oh, where's my buildings? And then suddenly to cliffside. That can be strange. Like, I felt like there might be an issue with you switch to that, but it feels like suddenly you're in a whole different scene or area. I tried angling the camera down for the shot, but it did not work. So I'm thinking I might just kind of stick with it. Or I might be able to flatten out the ground a little bit, remove these mountains or lower them, and have this move closer to at least get the perception that the ground's flatter, closer. I don't know. When I'm thinking out loud. The main thing here is I'm trying to think random, which is difficult because I can easily space them out evenly, but spacing them out evenly doesn't feel realistic. I need to have some kind of randomicity to them, and I still have to make it so that all these look like they're flapping at a good point. I don't want them at the bottom of their flap. There, that I'll mind. That kind of looks weird as all the other ones are. Let's go with that. Since I can't actually see them, they're perfectly facing me straight on when the green and the blue bars in the circle are on top of the gray lines. So as long as I keep that kind of in this direction, I'm fine. I'm not 100% sure. I was going to try to recreate to a degree what the next, or what happens in one of the parts of the book, but I can't create it exactly, as that would be, it wouldn't work very well to follow it exactly. So I need to... because I think all she does is dropkick one and that's it. I'm embellishing a little bit on some of it, which is fine. That's what anime intros do all the time. There's plenty of anime intros you can watch and be like, where did that happen? Like, with this one, her running through this field, I don't remember that ever happening in the anime at all. Like, or even how often she, like, acted like that. So, so it's not about being true in every situation. It's about at least following the general premise in some way or another. Okay. I think that should work. I feel like I need to put something with detail down here, not just silhouettes, because that's looking tacky, I guess. This one. And I can also clean up the shot quite a bit still. I just didn't want to delete everything from the shot if I'm going to be using the resources from the next shot. I'm trying to keep some of the stuff there so I can copy and paste it. So there's like parts of this building on this side that I'm not using anymore. But I want to be able to copy paste from it. Same with this one. Ground isn't even visible, but whatever. So one of these is going to be moved a lot closer. I actually have a lot of room to put things closer. Okay. Does that work as it is? Yes, but I want to shrink this down because I don't want to have this be crappy quality, so I need to shrink it. Now I'm going to take that. No, that's a fog light. I'm going to multiply that trick. Be a little bit fogged over. And actually, for how foggy it's supposed to be around here, having it like this could actually work. I wonder if I should keep it like that. If I did that, I would play with the background a little more because right now these are really high contrast for how foggy it is. These blend more, but still. I'm going to keep it like that for now. I'm going to copy this. No. That's what I can do one. There's too many things I have to remodify in that. If that was more blurred, I think that could work. It's just so visible. Where I am out there. And there it is. texture? Yeah, it is. That does a weird white splotch. Let me just go with it, not care. So you can see if it was made by 2 steps now, but it's made by really slow motion music. They actually do some pretty good stuff. And see, having this extra detail down here, I think actually helps it a little bit. It's not adding that much, just enough to break it up a little bit. If I do it to 1, I have to do it to all of them. Let's probably do it to this one. But you can kind of play with which ones you light to kind of give it a fake or a false feeling of 3 dimensions. So like for this one, lighting this side of it, this one actually lighting it a little bit higher. That's weird. There, with that. And then another one on the background. It works good. That just creates that feeling that the light is coming from one direction. I'm not going to be too worried about the other side here because Rainbow is going to be in the way there, but I want to put enough to at least give it the detail. And actually that did help a lot, having that dark amount there and stuff. So let's just figure out this last number here. Just further at the back. There it is. That should be enough for detail back there. This one back here, I'm fine with keeping a silhouette. It does bug me a little bit that for how foggy it technically would be, how clear a lot of that is. I might keep it like that. I wonder if, I don't know if it's going to work, but add a little light to that, if that'll balance it out better. I'm probably overthinking 4 frames, but There's gonna be no way I can light that one like that though. I might just say fuck it. Huh? Oh, okay, thank you. Good job. Okay. Well, I think it's bugging me a little bit is that one right there, but I'm thinking that I'm just gonna keep it as this for now. I have enough of the basis figured out to kind of potentially modify anything I need. I think one of the things that bugs me a little bit is that I feel like they should be blending into the distance with the fog, but and I could do that. It just depends on how if I want to do particles. Because at the beginning here, I'm not really worried about it because I have ideas for not particles, but having other stuff fly by. It doesn't need to be sparks or anything. But I kind of figure out the lighting now for this. Actually, is there anything I can clean up here? That wagon and that bench are not visible. And won't be. I can always fill those in later. That lamp. Bye-bye. It's fine. I'm just thinking, is this... This is the same as this. You can probably mix and match the things that I need, potentially. From one to the other. So I might clean up this one a little bit. Get rid of the stuff I don't need. So I don't actually see the edge of this building. That's the farthest I go. So, I can get rid of... this window, this window... This is all going to speed up processing, so I want to get rid of it. Okay, I can get rid of that, that, and that. I'm gonna keep the... Can I get rid of the wood plates? I think I can get rid of these ones. That lamp has a particle. They're all built into the lamps. So I'm going to delete this. No, I can't delete this whole lamp. I need to delete the lamp, interior light, light flare. Those. I need to keep the light actually in the building. The other ones I will keep because they probably are going to be there. I can delete part of the ground. I don't want to delete all the ground though, because of that I want to keep the models available for. Okay. Each of these help for now. I'm gonna keep this building face as the main one. But yeah, I'm gonna make more tutorials. I've just been caught up trying to get this done for BronyCon, so I haven't really been able to put much time into them. I have ideas for some, and I have a couple started. Because it's not just like sit down and hit record and call it good. It's there's a lot more to it. So a lot of them I try to build stuff ahead of time to provide an example without having to build the example, unless that the building is what part of the tutorial. But I want to have it all ready so that I can just give the information that's needed. But that takes time. All right, so. That looks fine for the corner. I still see a lot of the other stuff there. I can see one barrel. But I don't think that's going to matter too much. I'll just leave those for now. Is that other creature visible at all? Until he comes in. Where's this camera going? If I were to extend, and I could probably fix those textures. I forgot that there's still clouds. Actually, I don't even know if they're really needed anymore. I don't have overrides on them either. I was originally there to keep some of the excess light from hitting the scene, but still keep it up above, if I remember right. I can't remember now. I'm gonna say that's it. Okay. So now this is gonna be an ass to light because my frame rate is absolute shit. Well, you know what? These buildings are done, so let's just go, you know, alright. Still runs like shit. That's fine. Those buildings are pretty intensive. Well, actually, you know what? I need to actually see them because I need to know how to light within their scenery. So, the Rimbadesh has a light that's coming around the building here from that lamp. And that has to be lamp 1, yeah. So we're going to call this, the exterior light is its interior to it. The rim's really weird shape. Volumetric, interior, ambient should be the best. What we need to make sure is that she doesn't touch or get hit by that light really until she comes around that corner. Okay. Rainbow Dash is blue, which turns a yellow like green. So to counter that, I need to, I think, increase the red. Also for lights here, under light, that is fine. Ambient light, not really doing anything. Ah, it's for the whole scene. Yes, okay, whatever. Main light. Fuck. This main light's really making her bright, but it's also one of the main lights for keeping everything else lit. Which means that if I want to light her well, I have to darken everything else. Or separate it, which is an ass. I think I'm going to be separated. I didn't make my other copy. Kind of regret it. Alright, so this light. I want to make this light hit only the buildings. That's what I thought. So if I want to do that, I'm going to have to move this right about here. So I have to get that to hit the building and nothing else. Because I have to try to get the area in which is hitting one plane, but not the one behind it. So I had to get this flat to the surface and Now I don't want to light the top to bottom evenly, so I want to decrease the height of the light so that it's more of a flat line across the top of the building, like a DOS. We'll drop this to 5,000. I have the problem if that guy's wing is like right up to the building, but I might be able to get away with it by mostly cut on with min. So I did that with about 3,000. Okay. At this point, everything's being hit on the building, but not here. If the wing is being hit a little bit, that's fine. I can manage with that. I just need to make sure that nothing is now clipping in and out of that lighting. Okay. Lamps are out too. So this is where I can only see the one light. So I just need to make sure that nothing flickers. Actually, I can probably just do it like this. So the wing goes in and out for one frame here. So in this frame, I need to make sure that this one is at least brought back enough to hit that. Go to less. I know it's the cut on that's doing it. That's not what I thought it was. All right. If that's the case, then it just means I have to be a little careful how I do the lighting there. One wing in the shot there, but it stays lit the whole time, so whatever. Okay, we're good. But now Rainbow Dash lost that light, so now I can. I don't even need that one anymore. So this is my main light. And it is not hitting Rainbow Dash. Rainbow Dash. Lamps. Factory lamp light. Turn that one back on. Turn on the buildings. So now I have to light them individually. So I'm gonna make new light. I'll copy the color from this one. Show shadows for now. And now I can do whatever I want. Problem is I have to be careful now I'm not hitting the building. And if I do, I hit the building, I can just reduce the building's light a little bit. But, so I need to make sure that she's got sharper rim. I don't want her actually having any too bright, and I probably want the light coming from the alleyway because it makes more sense, and that's going to be where her face is anyway. So we will do this angle. So you have to be careful here because she's going to be coming around that corner, but I can move this light as I need. See, the sky is creating most of the blue light. I'm gonna put it up a little higher. Put a little bit more sharper to the corners there. Like that. I'm gonna call this one actor. Important light. See, it's really bright here, but then as it progresses, it dims a little bit. I'm thinking she got out of the range. Yeah, that's what it was. I think I'm just gonna do it like max range bright, and then dim it from there. So that should be okay for brightness. Nope, maybe a little too bright. That should work. Okay. Now I need to make the light that's going to be her kind of general light. I want to have something that's just giving her a nice little glow, so it's not such harsh shadows. I'm not liking how dark those guys are compared to everything else. It's gonna make it hard to light them. I guess if they're gonna be really dark like that, I guess it's not that bad. But so I dumb this down to the level I would need it for Rainbow Dash. Right about there. They're still not visible. I mean, I can give them their own kind of light. Actually, she might need it a little dimmer. wonder if I should try to utilize more lamp light. Look weird. I would have to have it shadowed, but that would be hitting the building. So I'll just leave it as it is. Okay, so the creature's way too dark, so let's try to lighten them up. Maybe rock colored ones. That's what I'm using. It's only the skin, so they are rock. It's supposed to be leathery, but I don't think it's gonna matter. I don't think you'll be able to see much detail in them. So the top of them are very bright. The bottom is not. Okay, so I can see what they did. So these are the top parts, that's why they're really bright. These are the under parts, that's why they're really dark. So really it's about balancing it out a little bit. Alright. So I got balance the brightness. I watched a thing on how to do this. I'm trying to remember the best way to do it. I'm going to just do auto. Nah, it's going to brighten up the everything. Actually, kind of does help. So I want to figure out where everything is on here so I know what it is that I'm finding important. So the whole body bit, the whole top I see, that's the top wings. Right? Yeah, and then those are the wings. probably get rid of like the head symbols and stuff. I don't think they need to be there. First, if I increase the brightness super bright. There's always that option to do it. Okay, so that would balance out that one. This one doesn't need to be super bright, but it should be brighter. So let's go with 50. Oh, I actually forgot. Can't do it quite like that. Alright, 50. That thing is unused, I guess. That's the chest piece, right? And that was pretty dark. Where's that ambient light coming in? So it is hitting it. Alright, then the head. I'm gonna play with removing the other stuff on there in a sec. I don't even know why I'm caring about trying to be like super detailed on this. I don't think it's gonna matter. Should help. Alright, so I want to get rid of some of this crap on the face, because technically those symbols aren't really needed. So we will just steal some other stuff and make it go bye-bye. Let's say this. The top layer, I'm gonna blend these first. Okay, so there's a crack line that goes across there. Might be able to recreate it if I get rid of it. So this is a darker version. Same thing from up here. I will just keep going with it, and then I will just putz to make it work. Actually, not. I'm going to take that part. We're going to make this new layer. I wonder if... No, that doesn't work. be able to sharpen that out of existence. Actually, I wonder if I can just keep repeating that. Is it Control F or Alt F? Oh, Control Alt F. What am I doing? I'm basically trying to degrade it to the quality that is the rest of the model. Good, I really don't care. Face. Actually, this should be the easier part. Technically, these things don't have eyes, so I could get rid of it completely. So that's a little easier. Is that between the mouth that it does that? It has the symbol break. Or is that the nose? Nose. So as long as I keep that going to a peak. Sure. The rest of it I can combine into whatever I want. These just kind of go and drift off, so I can really just kind of say fuck it. Not care. This needs to go to a peak. Let's see if that works. Just mixing it up so it's a little more random. Horse. That should kind of work. Let's see. Yeah, when the lighting goes off, it's actually not too bad. Okay, so it did actually give a good amount more details back. That did help a lot. I still think that the face is a little hard to see on the side, but I think that's just because of how the lights are hitting it, because I think that there's no... So it is hitting it. But compared to the rest, that is actually a little bit of the darker area, so let's just brighten that up a little bit. Do you hear me sing Pony Girl? I'm gonna see the point of singing it. You have to give me a good reason. A dare for the point of a dare isn't fun. Okay, so I think the top of the head is fine. Yeah, so it's just getting the rest of this balanced out. Didn't somebody do a 2D version kind of that song? Oh yeah, it was. Oh, that's where you get Pony Girl. No, it's trying to spend I don't know if that's a reference to Ferris Bueller's Day Off or not. I think it's just meant to be funny. No, it's the reason Pony Girl is great is because it's original, and just spending months rebuilding something to take an original idea and just copy it is stupid. Like Luna's Banishment was kind of my one time doing that, but I try to mix it up as much as I can. No, I have plenty of ideas that would just be original. I'd rather do that than just to rehash something somebody else did. It's like really the only part of the movie I know is that where they try to put the card in reverse. No, that the time till BrodyCon can take its time. I've got stuff to do. Got 10 seconds to animate, man. Alright, that did help a little bit. There's light. But I still feel like I need something. Mainly I think here, but here I can actually add it myself, and I think everything's darks there. So I will add another one, straight actor ambient. And if I really, really want to be specific, I can animate the lights to follow specific characters, but that is super annoying. And if you change anything, it's a lot of work to fix. So like here, I could actually animate this to follow the creature. So I could be like, say from here, I'm gonna go here, and then let's say, well, actually we'll just do all of it at the beginning there, and then it'll be like a creature come out here. Okay, now he's over here. And I really need to make sure that he's visible, because otherwise it's going to be confusing. Like right now, Rainbow Dash is in this light. And I don't want her in that light. I feel like if I do this, it's going to be obvious that I'm doing it. I'm feeling I'm going to have to try to come up with some other solution for lighting him, because it seems like even these, even following it, it's going to be super annoying, and I don't think it'd look that great. I think I need to find a way to light it without interacting with rainbow here. Well, actually, it's overall dark now, except for when it gets hit here. But even then, I might be able to just buff the light up in general on it and see if that'll help. Just have it open. I wonder if, because right now the lamplight wouldn't realistically be hitting the creature, but I can probably just pretend it does. Yeah, that helps. That'll do it. The problem is just not hitting the wall here. Okay, so that works. That should be fine, but when they cross into this range, is he still gonna be in the light the whole time? Yes and no. Yes, they're in the light the whole time, but no, I have to move it. To cover more range. I'm gonna have to probably add an extra light to rainbow there. But that definitely helped bring him out. But then I got this one. This one, this definitely needs some other light. Is he not getting hit by the other rim? Oh no, he's not getting hit by the modification I made to his texture. Okay, if I do this with the lighting on her, is it going to be that she's too bright compared to background? I feel yes. So to keep, this shot seems a bit bright, but I think that it's the only way to keep it the continuity. I might be able to get away with when this camera shifts to have the lamp light go down. That's something was up. Like, this is way too dark. Now, like that, it kind of works though. So, okay. Processing this. She can't fly too much forward. I only have 4 frames. I have was it 4 frames? So I have 1/8 of 1 second. I can't move her that far. This is the best I'm going to be able to do. And she's not actually flying at them. She's going to the ground right afterwards. I think what I'm going to do is, along with dropping the normal lighting, I'm going to drop her ambient. Give her higher contrast. If I'm going to put it between buildings, I really wish I could show another piece of a building on this side. But if I did, it would block out a lot of the shots. I think that should work for now. I can see how it looks in a render or something. Probably should do her cleanup though. So she's not. She's got some issues with her animation still. I was actually kind of happy with how the what do you call it, the tail turned out in general. You're not there, it's kind of broken there. Oh, that's just the jiggles. Yeah, I'll need to clean up that though. Alright, so her wings. The tips. Yeah, I'll need 0 in there. Oh, no wonder that didn't work. No. When she's got her Discord eyes, she really can't move. She's kind of out down for the count, so no, she will not. I don't think that's what I wanted to do. Get the eyes a little further back. Even then, it's not enough. The fact that I even have her in this shot with the eyes at all is, I mean, she has some bits, but normally she's not flying. There's a lot to the story I'm not going to get into, but yeah, she won't be. it is. It's only a couple frames. I feel like she needs to bend more here. Steam was not acting right for me today, so I don't know if it might not just be me. Oh, I almost forgot. I need this too. Forgot about this. I forgot that's what the thing is. I have a feeling this is going to take some careful manipulation throughout the whole video. Over this whole scene. Look here. So I'm going to hide that for now. At least it puts it in my mind. But I don't want to actually fuss with it right now because I have a feeling I'm going to have to redo a lot if I do. Okay, oh, so that's what I was doing here. Forgot. I need Rainbow Dash. I was like, why is that folder empty? me a detailed flight. So, I thought there was a new one though, with the additional flex. Denver's are pretty good. But I think that they're not gonna look like. Oh, nah, they'll probably be better than what I got. Yeah, I can see more detail on them. I don't think I've downloaded this one yet. I wouldn't be surprised if I have and I'm just stupid. Oh, I haven't. Okay. We need to change the name though. The all caps bothers me. I just need one single hot cycle skips. Found the errors. Easy to fix. You see what frames this is made in? .30 FPS, sweet. Okay, so that means that I should be able to perfectly select one loop. It looks like you knew about the error too, so this is up. So one loop is this line. Nope, I gotta do it from the side. That's why I always presented the information regarding frame rate, because it lets you know if you need or how when copying stuff. There's a jump. Oh, the closed wings. Don't care. If you know the frame rate, it means that you could. How easy is it going to be to copy? So that's why I was like, I wonder what frame rate it's running at. See, let's go bam, 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 bam. Actually, this is further than I need to go. There's that big gap. Oh well. Don't need that much. Really, all I need is a single flap, but I want to be able to grab it from any point. So she's got her wings closed, so like this, and I need her to flap once. So we're gonna go flap once, and then I think that she's has them up again. So I'll put them like that. easiest way to do this. This is like what I'm doing it. Yeah, we've had some hotter days lately. I don't mind having the window open a lot when it's hot, but niece prefers it when it's a little cooler. But I have when I was in college, we had dorms without air conditioning. So, and that summer when I was there, it was 100-something degrees. So it was, I'm a little bit more used to it, and it doesn't bug me. I wonder if I should go for 2 flaps. Okay, so it does work. It's just such a short period of time. I have to be careful. So these wings got to be turned. Because the motion blur will provide the detail that I care about, so I'm not worried about that. At least I hope not. I'm feeling this might be too quick still, but... I didn't render last night because without the lighting set up I wasn't going to give a good representation, so I didn't bother. Because I mean, the only thing that I render are the stuff on frame, and oops. If you think about it, these are the frames. So this one's gonna be tough. You see, the problem here is that technically her wings look better up, but they're already up. So do I then curl them down? I never really do is going to probably destroy him too much. I wonder if I just curl him. It's just that it gives a better feeling of impact if the wings are shot upwards at that point. So, well, that could work. Is that the right position for the wings? Yes, they are. I feel like maybe just turn them a little bit. Okay, so the ears and stuff are broken, but I'm not going to be worried about those for a while. I think I have at least enough to do a test render on and see what it comes up with. And I kind of want to do that before I go into too much detail with the next shot. I feel like having Rainbow with a brighter outline here might actually still be useful, because otherwise I feel like she might just disappear into nothingness in this. And she looks pretty good right now. And you know what, if I in post play with the contrast and stuff, I should be fine. Another thing I wanted to fix was right here. There's actually a thing I watched about apps and their icons, and if you look at, it's not just the color. There's a lot of different stuff you could pull out of every different app and the way that it does its design and its structure. Almost all of them are simple, can be simulated with a single color on a contrast. They're variations of blue because they want to be mixed up almost with anything else. And there's no gradients to it. They're always simple. Just the style right now. One company does it successful and finds success in a look, and then everybody else copies it. There is still plane air right there. So let's have to add another mountain. Never have enough mountains. Might be biased. There's the air. And there was the air. Wait, no, that was another one. Actually, I don't think it's going to matter. It's all going to be motion blur anyway. Because the shot is fast, I'm not going to light these guys too much. The high contrast will be needed to ensure that they're pulled out. I think I still want to potentially add more going off in the distance as like black specks, just to give it a more of a feel. Because right now it feels like a good amount, but not really like crap load or anything. That guy drops right. Oh, he just kind of slides backwards, but he does keep going, right? All the way till the camera's out. No, he does not. I don't think. I have to make sure that light's not shadowed because it's going to cause a flicker. No, okay. Alright. I think that. So I'm going to rename this so that I know what. Because originally I didn't know what I was going to actually name it. I was gonna say beats off some monsters, but that probably wouldn't go over well. The problem with defending gold petals is at this point she's dressed up like a man, so that's going to be, I think, a little bit difficult, but I can probably manage. But really, I can have it just defend anybody. It doesn't have to be them, or I can just have her fight more. So it's not like it really matters. Monster attack 2. We'll just say this is not going to matter because I'm probably going to copy paste to it. Rainbow kicks more ass. There we go. I was expecting at this point to just be starting a lot of these, so I'm a little bit further ahead than I was planning on being. Sam Rose, I'm actually planning to be the easier one. It was originally going to be the more complex one, but really it's just going to be animating him flipping around and just doing this shit. So it's not going to be difficult. It's the scene building and the camera control for these ones that I'm worried about. Alright, so I'm going to work on the one other part of this that I wanted to do, which when she comes flying around the corner, I need to simulate kind of like what they did in the anime, which is as soon as that he comes around the corner, there's a bunch of like lights and shit. So I need to... Well, I can't simulate that. They are beating the shit out of things. So if I can find some kind of barrel exploding or something. Maybe it's not a barrel, I just have to find something with wood that's exploding. Probably should wait till this is all loaded. 10,000 more to go. Yeah, because just having her fly around around the corner doesn't really provide much for action unless there's shit coming flying out of there too. Alright, it should be good. The only thing is TF2 and Half-Life, they're the ones that are going to have the good animated stuff. Well, probably not TF2. TF2 is probably going to have it actually based on physics engine. So they got all these pre-destroyed stuff. So I loaded up the sequence tab. And what I'm doing is looking for anything that doesn't have that's probably nothing. No. Idle. Which is great. Probably if there's something about it exploding. It's got a list of them there. Let's try wood. There's probably a lot of things in here, but it's probably the best I'm going to have for finding it. So I know that there is stuff that exists, it's just which ones work best. Now this just falls over. I need shrapnel. Usually I use a stone one for when I need stuff like this, but I don't want stone, I need actual wood. Where's this one? Oh, I see that could work. Where's this one? Probably the same. Those are probably going to be the best bet. What are those called? Wood Borge. Wood Borge. Where's your Borge? This looks like it's pre-built walkway around it. See where it kind of like would hit some stairs. And that's what makes that annoying, is they're all pre-built to land on certain spots. I think it's funny is the animation and stuff, a lot of that physics looked great in Half-Life. But some of the most detailed animations they had in terms of things blowing up were all pre-recorded. Yeah, they did have a good physics engine and they did do a good job of playing with it, but they did cheat quite a bit too. Okay, this is boards. So this is the darker one, this is the lighter one. I probably want to go with the lighter one. I think that's a bit big. scale by root transform. I'm worried about something. Oh, these are made by Valve, so these should be okay. I'm worried about boned objects that have a resize on the root disappearing if you put it at a certain angle. And it just paranoids me because years ago they did an update that disabled any, or that all scaling couldn't be done to the retransform, like broke it. And that's how I done everything. And I had an entire scene build that I had done, spent days on, and then they put through that update, and the entire scene build became completely corrupted and broken. It looked like crap because none of the scaling worked, and I was like, "Fuck this!" So I'm just paranoid about putting scales on those now. Now I have to also be careful because it looks like they all hit the ground right afterwards. Which normally isn't difficult because you can just kind of drag them away, but they all hit at different times. So I gotta figure out when the first one hits, which is pretty quick. And then I have to drag all of them away. That work is to bring this lower. So when does the slowdown happen? Probably should clear out some of the animation for those other creature things. That's a little easier to grab. Alright, so rainbow, does the slowdown. I'm gonna say from right here to right here. Quite. So I'm gonna move just a little earlier. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do it to here. Hard to do to view. I need to be with all the other crap going on. I guess turn this off and help. I think what I'm actually going to do is after this point, I'm just going to speed the boards up. Why is there still wood? Screw it, I'm going to keep the wood there and see what happens. Because right at this point, or at this point, it slows down again. Running at 10 frames per second makes this hard. Yeah, I have to render that out. I'm afraid that's just not going to be visible that much. I did reduce the motion blur. But that's the point of having these like checkpoints, like here, to where there's the motion blur is reduced because they slow down, then they go nice and fast. Then she slows down here, and so she becomes more in focus. But then go speed up to do that. So the motion blur is only in between action, and when she does that, she slows down again. Like, I feel like this needs to have more stop time. But it kind of goes with the music right now, so that's why I really can't change it. But I think that just having a lot of action there is not going to matter. It's like, whatever, it's cool looking. So, yeah, I'll have to... I'm gonna put that under particles because I'm gonna have to render this out and see how it looks. Like, but there's things I know that I'm not gonna like because, like, the creature right now, he basically looks like he just goes into position to be hit. I have to technically like bring it so that she is more forward and actually physically throws the guy down there, instead of just looking like he just goes under there for no reason. So Oh yeah, that was the other thing. One last thing to do. I need to grab one more wing flap. So I'm just gonna grab a bit here. I don't care. So I need to have her flap and get up to where she is. So what I'm doing here to use the floating modification layer like it is, so I just grabbed some part of flight. So I need her wings to go down when this starts going up, and then be pretty far up there. So I'm just going to grab, so this is the beginning of the flap, so flap, and then what do I need her to be up there? Okay, so right there. So this is, again, the wings are fully up here, which is what it is at the beginning of this. So I'm just going to do that. So I'm going to grab this, I'm going to blend this, I'm going to slow it down a little bit more. Going to blend the end of this. But doing that. Probably just take the end of this and blend it off so that it gives the wings a little extra motion here. Okay, her wings kind of just go mechanical motion here. So I'm going to just take a little bit here and round it. Probably going to adjust the time when she goes down with the wing to further in. And like, I want to make sure that the camera is smooth, but I also want to make sure that I'm not over giving it motion at this point, because if I have it move too much, it's just going to create motion blur again. And right now, it's actually pretty clear. For the last, and what I cared about was the last 4 seconds, or 4 frames. So 1, 2, or so this is 1, 2, 3, 4. It's clear enough. So, because it's not about getting the details; it's about just getting that snapshot in your head. That's what I want to get. I thought that guy was going to be too dark against that mountain, but actually he's fine. Okay, but it's after 9. I need to do the render, so I'm going to call it for tonight. I'm actually surprised how much progress I've made on this. I did not expect it to be like that. I better turn these on or I'm going to forget. Elemental lights I'm not going to worry about right now. Building. Okay. Is there any lights that are on? No. So, because that means that in the one weekend and like one day I've just about got one of these 3 last shots done. So, we're going to have 2.5 weeks left. next week is when I want to really start getting the renders started. So, progress. And actually, I could. I mean, I didn't really do some of the well, I did most of the refinements here. Really, I could just, you know, I'm just gonna say that technically, as long as depending on the renders done, this is essentially down to cleanup, which I'm really surprised about. But yeah, the render's probably gonna tell me that like all this is a bunch of shit, and I'm just wasting my time. I wonder if. I did modify this so that I had control of the shutter speed. I forgot what the minimum it'll let me go to is. But if you go too low, it gets super choppy. That's what I want to try to prevent. But even at this amount, it's still... The main thing is when it slows down, what does it look like? And it looks pretty clear. I'll try it at 0.008, but that's like 1/3 this, or 3 times faster shutter speed than is actually expected for a camera that I'm running. Oh yeah, progress. Yeah, I've just been. If this was really hard to get a preview of, here, I'll run it at 1/3 speed, or 1/6, no 1/4. It's just the frame rate's crap. So, yep, that's what I did this weekend. Just keyframe this, and then we just finished up the rest of it today. And then I got to copy this. This one's probably going to be the most complicated shot I have to do, though. So I'm not sure exactly how to do it, but I thought the same about this one, and it's turning out pretty cool. So I don't know what she needs to do in that shot yet. So I just put Rainbow Kick's ass, because that's what she's got to technically do. I'm not gonna modify that because I can always just load it up and do the same thing again. So yeah, progress. But I do need to... Ooh, actually, you know what? I had... re-rendered. Forgot I did that. I re-rendered the end sequences. The only thing that sucks is this. This one's broken. Though I kind of just like it broken. It's weird. It's not broken, I guess. I just have to render in a different map. But I needed to check this one because I allowed this one to be blended with this previous shot. So I need to make sure that this still times out the same with everything else. That's this one. Nope. So, what does it say now? Okay, good. So then these blend correctly. So this needs to... Yes, yeah, I do final editing. This is all I'm doing. I'm doing all this just for testing, which is super annoying. So this is 0. I feel like that is too long. the actual... I could easily fix that. It's supposed to be from... ends here. There we go. Okay. And now this one. Blend here to here. Oop. Okay, so that's good, but then I need to take this shot and I forgot how I did that. There it is. Okay, my shot's supposed to get out of the way. The problem with August, though, August top 10 is probably the most difficult month to possibly fight against, because you have all the videos that premiered at BronyCon, which means that I will be competing in the top 10 for August with Anthology 6. No, it's not going to happen. But I helped with, I made content for Anthology 6, so in a way, if that's first for the month, it kind of feels like I helped out with that. But that's actually what was cool, I think, for the year that Remembrance came out, is I think Moon Rises was #1, Anthology 5 was #2, and Remembrance was #3 for the year, which that I had a part or a hand in the top 2 of the top 3, which was kind of, I thought that was really neat. I didn't care that Remembrance was behind Anthology, because that's not a project you can ever get ahead of. And then Moon Rises was, or Lullaby for a Princess, I think. That just, that one nobody was gonna beat. I just didn't even consider it. But all right, let me slow down to be funny. Okay, let's see how this looks now. Okay, so I reduced the motion blur here. Oh no, I didn't reduce it, I removed it. Yeah, I gotta fix that. See, this is what I meant by it can look choppy. Though, actually, you know what? It actually doesn't look that bad without the motion blur for some reason. Well, actually, there's no motion blur. And there's no depth of field? It's in that shot. No, there's depth of field. And I think there is some... I'm not sure. That's weird. Hold on a second. So I want to make sure that that renders fine, because like, oh yeah, I have to go to this shot because technically these aren't cleaned up yet. They're essentially ready, but these ones are being annoying and crashing whenever I look at them. All right, so I have motion blur now. So why didn't it render with motion blur? Shutter speed is 0.167. I'm pretty sure that this is set up for an override of 0.7. No, I haven't set the override, so Why didn't you do any motion blur? It's interesting to see what it looks like without. But it's just, it feels choppy, and that's why, because there's nothing, no motion blur to connect them. And see, this one still bugs me a little bit. Because it's supposed to do a zoom in here, you can see it. But I really can't do that here. Because I could just get rid of the animation for Axon looking up and have it zoom in on Rainbow's face, but this transition would be weird. To transition between Rainbow Dash looking at one thing and Rainbow Dash from the front looking at another. That's why I never did it. But I can't think of anything else to do there if we're trying to simulate that same thing. Because I tried making that sequence and it just didn't look right. But I feel like that might be a better transition. Unless I mix this around and had this instead start with Rainbow looking up and then the dragon, that would work, because then at least it separates the face. Well, you can do a zoom in, but if you do a zoom in, you're taking something of one quality and you're reducing that quality by doing a zoom in. So it would have to be like, it would essentially be doing a digital zoom to do that. So you'd be degrading the quality of the video. And so if you do that, and I actually had to do that for an anthology short, that the one that I did for anthology. So I can't show you exactly what I did, but I had an effect, kind of like a shockwave effect, but I wanted it to look like it was emanating from a specific point, not just zooming in, so it was a bubble effect. And so I needed to do an actual video zoom, so I rendered that sequence out in 4K, because the final was in 1080. I rendered it out in 4K, and then I had to zoom in on the 4K, but because it was being put to 1080, it still had plenty of pixels to use for stretching without degrading the quality of the final video. But if you're working with final video, the final video quality, yes, if you zoom in, you're going to essentially be stretching and you're going to lose a lot of sharpness. And like this, I want to have the final in 4K, and you're going to notice that on something like that. So, no, I won't actually do that. And it's not like it's difficult to just do a zoom in post. The only reason I did like in the other one, the zoom in special, was because I actually needed it to have part zoomed in, part not, and actually like stretch from that point, which SFM cannot do. So, but no. So I think if I actually put the Rainbow Dash at first here, that could work. But I have to test it. I think I still have it somewhere. It's in an old render that I can take that sequence and see what it looks like. So yeah, and then this, I got rid of that error, so they actually explode fine. The dragons now are more visible. The dragon over on the side does have a flash when the explosion goes off. I didn't do anything with the book. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I did here. I did change the camera a little bit on this. So how does the dragon look coming up? Fine. Okay. This is not the right map, but I still kind of like it the way it is. I don't think I ever actually pulled the camera further away from her. Because in the final of this one, this guy is much further away by the time it fully fades. Well, compared to the alicorn there. So I might have to putz with that. Well, and actually, this actually turns too. And then goes fading forward. I didn't notice that. I might have to play with that too. Things to play with! I'm kind of curious about doing a render of this entire video with motion blur off and see what happens. It would look choppy, yeah, but if you do it right, you might be able to get away with it. Okay, whatever. Yay, video editing. I think there's going to be a lot of good content here because we have BronyCon always has good content come out of it, so there should be lots of really good stuff. I think. I mean, I'm mainly looking forward to like the fact that you have Anthology coming out, and there's been some pretty good stuff in there so far. So something to look forward to. Too much crap open. Is this gonna still work? Nope, still not working. It's being super stupid today. So yeah, I will be streaming again tomorrow, where I will do the test render overnight for that section, and so I can review it, fix anything that might need fixing, and if it's looking okay, I'll probably start copy pasting everything into the next shot without refining it, because I want to get started on it. So we'll start on that one. But I don't know how much work I'll put into it, because I'm thinking that I'm gonna have to do another like 2-hour sit and think session for that shot. And if that's the case, I will start working on the Sam falling one, because that one I don't need to think as much on. I just need to have them spin. Action sequences I thought were going to be hard because of the interaction between two people, but I found out it's really easy because you make one do something cool and then you just have the other one react to it. So it's actually pretty easy. It's just trying to make the motions themselves look realistic. That's tough. Steam's just being super slow on everything. I tried rebooting my router, I tried rebooting my computer, and rebooting Steam, and none of it worked. It's just super slow to get into stuff, but at least I guess I'll get into SFM and stuff fine. It's just Steam's broken some way or another. Anyways, yeah. And when I get the con version of the video ready, I will be uploading it to Patreon so that anybody that's on there can actually watch the full thing first, but I will not actually be doing the final renders and edits for it until I get back, because it's gonna be in 720 for the con version. It's gonna be in 4K on YouTube, so as a heads up. So if you're on there, yay, video. So yeah, I will see you guys potentially tomorrow, and hopefully Steam will work so I can put out an announcement there and stuff. So, alright. Bye bye, love you, Candy. Oh, on. Oh, the panels here, I want to actually put it on here because I'm pretty sure there might be other people that would want to know too. I can copy paste them there though. So there's the SFM ponies. They might call it News Magic. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if Adam's still using that or not. I'm doing 2D versus 3D. I'm not sure if there's any other parts of that title. Anthology 6, and then the Patch panel, which is a Fallout 3D stuff. That's the only ones I know I'm on. I can't remember if I'm on any others. But that's the only ones I'm officially on. Well, actually, technically, I don't even know if they put my name on this one, but I'm going to be up there anyway for it. So, whatever. Okay, cool. So yeah, that's what I'm going to be. And hopefully someday they decide to put out the information regarding when these panels are, so they can actually put out videos saying, hey, we're doing things. So, whatever. So yeah, thanks for coming again. Meow. And meow. Alright, I'll see you guys later.